Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Anita. My student identification number is 2113022018 and I am from Group 10, Class B, Physics Education. So, today I want to tell you about the fluid and the density of fluid. Okay, fluid. Do you know about the fluid? Yes. So, the definition of the fluid is any substance that can flow. What is the example? The example of the fluid is all water and all gas, or all air. All water like milk, oil liquid, and all air is gas. They are the example of the fluid because they can flow. And the second is the white rocks and the wood. Rocks and the woods are not classified as the fluid because they cannot flow. Not only wood and the rocks, but all of the solid is not classified of the fluid because they cannot flow. Well, the next is divided fluid. Fluid is divided into two. The first is static fluid and the second is dynamic fluid. Static fluid is a fluid that is the stationary phase. The example of the static fluid is the first, water in a bath that is not subject to any force that make it move. And the second is river water. River water has a uniform velocity for each particle. And the fluid, the second, is dynamic fluid. The dynamic fluid is a fluid, can be a liquid or gas. So, dynamic fluid, to make it easier to study the fluid here, we can conclude that the first, considered state. Considered state, the mean is, has a constant velocity with the time. And the second is incompressible or no change in volume. And the third is not viscous. And the fourth is not turbulence or not cycle. Our life relate to this dynamic fluid. Well, the next, density of the fluid. Do you know about the density of the fluid? Have you ever compared the weight of the iron and the wood? Have you ever compared? I think your answer is yes. So, it is true that iron is heavier than wood. This statement is actually not quite right. Why? Because the true answer is the iron is denser than wood, not the heavier than wood. So, the next is why? Why is iron has denser than wood, not heavier than wood? Because we still remember that every object has a different density and is a natural property of an object. In physics, the measure of the density of a homogeneous object is called as density. So, that is the example of the density of fluid. We can see from the color of the fluid. The first yellow, the second red, and the third is blue, and the fourth is green, and the bottom is violet. That is describe about the fluid, about the not same fluid. Not same, I say not same the density of the fluid. Well, the next is, what is equation of the density of fluid? Do you know? So, density is a measurement of the mass per unit volume of an object. Mass per unit volume of an object. Unit is kilogram per meter or 10 gram per centimeter. The higher the density of an object, the greater the mass of each volume. Density is used to determine matter. Each substance has a different density. And a substance, regardless of its mass, whatever its volume, we have the same density. Well, the next is, if we want to search about the apparent mass when submerged, we can search with the equation is density of water explained volume of an object. So, we can find the apparent mass when submerged. The next is the table of the density of fluid. We can see from the table that air, alcohol, wood, ice, and the water is not the same density fluid. That object in a fluid, we can see from the picture. There is object in the fluid or in the water. The first state an object in a fluid is a float. What is the meaning of the float? That mean is the object not completely submerged of the fluid, because the density of the object is lower than the density of the liquid. And the second state object in a fluid is drift. Drift mean is the object is completely submerged in the fluid, but does not touch the bottom of the fluid, because the density of the object is the same with the density of the liquid. And the next is sink. What the meaning of the sink? The sink means the object is completely submerged in the fluid and touch the bottom of the liquid, because the density of the object is very higher from the density of the liquid. Well, that's all from me. I am Anita Fitria. Thank you for your attention, and I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.